his Oscar one, and got up in the box and, kissing her ass and all that. And I'm kind of laughing because he's not kissing her ass. She thinks he is, but he's not. He's manipulating her for whatever ulterior motive he has, infiltrate or whatever.
A lot of what he's done when he like talks the way he does, I've just from just observation, he'll ask questions, he'll get her to explain herself, he'll ask more questions, and then there's a lot of times where she contradicts herself. Like it's almost like he's doing like
an experiment on her, like not an experiment, but
she doesn't notice it.
Yeah, she doesn't notice it because she's dumb.
Well, it's all when you're talking about Sammy gets clouded with Sammy, so it's tunnel vision.
And she's like the epitome of what a narcissist is. And she's such a bold-faced liar. Like, she's such a pathological liar that, like, she doesn't even recognize it, or that other people can see. Like, oh, I didn't watch, so I block these people. I don't see their content. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. First thing in the morning, just like a lot of us on this fucking app, we sometimes, some of us check people's content, or the people we don't like, or the people that we have blocked on or have us blocked on our main. We use our other one to go see what they're up to.
I mean, especially if, our names are in their mouth for the last 3 weeks. Yeah, we're kind of keeping an eye on it. Sorry. I do. I watch. I pay attention.
That's right.
Samantha talks about me daily, like fucking for the last 7 months. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, Sammy, that's how I seen the, because I'm a total lefty account on one of my accounts, like far lefty, right? So I got to see her post with her disclaimer, like within 5-10 minutes of her posting that disclaimer, and I realized, oh, she made it her very first pinned post. And so I screen recorded it and posted it myself, right? Like her disclaimer. It's
not a good idea to put a disclaimer up like, oh, all my views are my own. They're not representative of my school, blah, blah, blah. But then you have all the stuff you're doing in school in your bio. And then you mention your PhD stuff. You mention your school and throw it in people's faces. And then you say that you're fucking, what are they called? Mentors or whatever. The fucking people around at school, they're following her. They agree with her. They support her.
Even though she says in her disclaimer that
it's not the views of the school. If it's not the views of the school, then why are you quoting that the school is what's teaching you these things?
Exactly. And the way she says the disclaimer is they are not the views of the faculty or whatever, or her employers, however she worded it.
Yeah. But so then you're also saying that you're learning this stuff through the schooling that they're teaching you. So you're contradicting yourself because the very views you spew every single day based on what you say is from your schooling is the views of them. And
she went private for however many days. She was in the odd comment section of a few lives. And then she goes back from unprivate after she posts the disclaimer, which uses her full name, which implies to me that you're either a fucking idiot and want everyone now to know your full name, or you were told to do that if you want to keep being on social media and bragging about your fucking certain universities' degrees or whatever. Fuck. What a joke, man.
Yeah. And I love how Samantha came into my life and doxed herself and doxed her building and then blamed it on everybody else.
Listen, Jenny, I swear to God, it's curiosity that kills me sometimes. That's how my brain works. But when she went out on her balcony that day, it's like, there's the certain town's police station. I'm like, oh, interesting. And I went to Google. And I was like, walked around the Google Earth there and like, oh, look. So you took a fucking picture. Nobody knew until she came along and fucking spewed it. It's kind of funny in a way,
right? It wasn't that
got mad at you. Some people got mad at you. Sorry, Jenny, but some people got mad at you. But me, I found it fucking hilarious because
you know what? I posted for that solar eclipse or whatever. I put my view out my window for the eclipse. I think I was on Isaac's live when I was filming it for everybody, so they all got to watch it live with me. And I showed the view. I'm like, oh, because I had a third story apartment over top of the strip. So I was just showing like what our strip looks like. And then all of a sudden, you know, pictures of my actual apartment are being posted and all that shit and being made people's profile photos and it's being posted in live streams. And I'm like, they're like, you doxed yourself, Lisa, when you showed outside your window. And I'm like, so me showing outside my window to show the fucking solar eclipse and just kind of like, this is what
someone like me Google you.
Means that you get to take a photo of my home and live stream my home and tell people I live there. You know, you get to do that. Yeah. I mean, I didn't show the business that I lived above. Now I've relocated. And of
but
course,
what I'm saying is people like that did that to you, they went too far by like the way Jenny did. It was just a rando building with no address or nothing. It was just a rando.
It was off in the distance.
And
like the point of the picture was the Beef Baron, and there was one little building sticking up in the background, and she's the one that came in and pointed it out that it was her building. And then I'm like, it's not a big area. You go to Google Maps, and there was only one building sticking up in the background, so it's not going to be that hard to find.
Well, if you didn't say anything, Samantha, nobody would have known that.
That's right. And Lisa Bella, if I had beef with you and you did that, I would have been, oh, cool. And I would have went on to Google Earth and I would have found
if you wanted to look it up, that's all. I can't tell you not to. But like at the same time, I wouldn't expect you to be like, okay, now I'm gonna post what the outside of our building looks like with the business.
That would be a low blow.
I got a message from someone. It was a comment on one of my videos being like, people know where you live and they have guns. This isn't a threat. It's a warning. Watch your back. And I brought that to police. Don't.
Okay, yeah.
You know, but I brought it to police and everything, and they're like, we can't prove that this person is the one that's actually behind that account. So like, you know, I'm like, okay, cool. So I have to get shot or stabbed before anyone cares. And they're like, well, we can't police the internet. So for anyone saying that I'm using the police to my fucking advantage, get all the way fucked. That's more like they've done fuck all for me. Fuck all.
That time someone knew exactly where I was at Popeyes, and they're like commenting how you were at Popeyes at 9:45, and I'm kind of like, holy shit balls, I was in Popeyes and I was tripping balls. But you know what?
Scary.
Yeah, it's scary. It is. But what I loved was that Squirrel King, of all people, was man enough. I was calling for him, come to my live. People were sharing. He came in. First thing he says is, my full name. What do you want? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, hang on, just chill, like blah, blah, blah. And he came clean and he said, yeah, that was me and blah, blah, blah. I just happened to work by you and whatever, right? And I was like, wow, what a fucking decent guy. Like he could have.
Well, not decent to scare you, but also.
Not initially. But when he realized that it had a certain effect on me, he was decent enough to clarify for me. And then, so I just seen him as a decent man. You know what I mean? But you know what I did do prior to him coming clean to me? Somebody had told me it was him. So I went to his page and I'm looking at all his stuff and I see him at his work smoking a cigarette in the back laneway. So I'm like, I'm going to go find like around the laneways of my area to find which restaurant.
You went to complete, like you were built for the streets, so people really shouldn't fuck with you.
I found the restaurant. I found the laneway of where he likely was having the cigarette because like there's only so many laneways around here and so many restaurants that are high end, right? So it wouldn't have mattered anyway. It was just like, good. Like now I've got something on that person, but he came clean. So it's like, it was great. I thought it was great what he did, to be quite honest, because it eased my mind and I deserve what I get sometimes, but it's still decent that he was man enough to like ease my fucking mind.
Yeah. See, like what happened now, like, okay, so when that happened, Samantha came in, pointed out her building, right? Then she went back and started a live, decided to blame me 100% for showing her building and stuff like that. That's when she decided to drop my boyfriend's full name in her live. She said it on her live, my boyfriend's full name.
Oh, why would she do that?
Right? So I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I was a petty bitch. I went back to that fucking picture with the Beef Baron in the building and I Google mapped it. I found exactly what building it was. It took me less than 5 minutes to do. And I took a picture of the building up close. I never put an address there. but I did put the picture up in my background of the building. I didn't put a fucking address. I didn't say no addresses or anything like that.
And
But
she came up and doxed herself. And then, and I did, when I did it, because I was like, oh, I'm curious now, Beef Baron in relation to the police station. I'm like, oh, look, it's 3 minutes apart. And then I'm doing the Google walking around. I'm like, actually, it's kind of a nice town, city, whatever you want to call it, with the old architecture. I was like,
Yeah.
like I like old architecture and churches and stuff, right? So I was
I
like,
was like, did you just say London is a nice town?
oh, no, I
Bitch, have you been there?
no, I
It's like
haven't.
that.
But
like
I've seen
Hamilton,
the architecture. I've seen the
Hamilton.
architecture, like of the historical buildings. I was like, oh, that's a really nice architecturally building. And then to the right, there's this high rise, and there's this. She was saying today, no, it's not. The Beef Bear is still open. I'm like, well, I didn't know. Like, fuck, I'm on Google Earth looking at the Beef Bear, and it's just says for sale, right? So it was closed down at the time. Now she's saying it's open again for strippers.
Well, that's it. She was saying that, and then she started to say that me and LB were putting down prostitutes and sex workers, and then brought up the Bad Bunnies, and I'm like, I didn't know
And
what
I'm
the
like,
Bad
no,
Bunnies
bitch, I take
were.
photos of people that work there. Like, I do boudoir photography, so why would I put down sex workers when I'd help them build their portfolio?
Right? Like I didn't know anything about it. All I know is the Beef Baron, and it was an
Yeah.
old stripper bar that Samantha worked in. That's all I knew, which is why
I didn't even know
Googled
she
it.
worked there. I just made a joke of her licking
I
the
didn't
floor.
know she worked there too. It was fucking TikTok scientists who made that very first one of Samantha on the stripper pole at whatever
me.
strip club with you.
Yeah.
And when you looked up the Beef Baron, was it for sale? Like not when you saw it, Jenny, was it like just
The picture that I got from the Google Maps, obviously not. Like it was like you could tell it was totally shut down.
yeah?
and
that's
then
what I
like
saw.
They're not
the circle,
workers
like
of
the dot.
bar. These are not workers. These are just regular people. But these are the kind of photos that I do of people.
Oh, nice.
Like,
Yes. So you saw the Beef Baron the way I saw it, which was a closed
It
down.
just said the beef.
Nice.
Yeah, it said the Beef Baron Tavern, and underneath it says permanently closed, right? Because it's from Google Maps. That's where I
Yeah.
got it from.
see, this is the kind of shit that I do for people. And they're like, you're putting down sex workers. I'm like, really? Because I take photos of a lot of people in different ways. And these are not people that work in the industry. I do not post those photos online because they are for those people only. But this is the kind of shit that I do. This is my photography. And so how can you say that I'm putting down sex workers when I literally, not saying that these people are sex workers because they're not, but I take
Piss.
photos of
Go to
bodies.
Arby's, Piss. Go to Arby's. Arby's is waiting for you.
Arby's is fake beef. I think it's human meat.
Oh, he's just saying, where's the beef? I'm trying to help him
I
out.
know. I remember that old lady. Where's the beef?
At the Beef Baron.
And the Beef Baron.
It's just a funny name for a strip club, and I have friends who have worked there. You know, they made good money. They liked their jobs. They were treated well. They weren't like treated like shit.
What I laughed was she was
It's a
losing her
sexy
mind.
dive
She's like,
bar.
"How are you? You're disrespecting the sex workers or whatever at the Beef Baron
Weaponizing
strippers
your
that have been working there for 40 years." I'm like, what kind of fucking stripper is it? A walker? Like, what are they doing in a walker
It's
now?
probably- if she worked there, she probably worked in the back, or she probably helped the girls get like. She wasn't probably doing like. There's a bar in there too, right?
She's mopping the floor with her tongue. That's it.
Custodian.
I wonder how many rabies shots she got. That's why she can sit with Sammy Sourdog. Or Rabbit.
It was a joke I said a while ago when she was coming at me hard, and then she demanded I apologize to her like a few months ago. So then I apologized to her, and I meant it. And she accepted my apology seemingly, and then she kept weaponizing it. She kept bringing it up, acting like I never apologized to her, and we never crushed that.
And-
So if you want to keep talking about it, Samantha, then I'm gonna fucking say stuff about it now too, because you won't let it go. You let the fucking sword get down out of your hand, and I swear to God, my sword will drop at the exact same
Well,
time.
what I don't remember whose apology she made an apology to, but the next day she doubled down and said her fingers were crossed. I'm like, first of all, what are you, 12? And second of all, your apologies can never be trusted from this day forward with that kind of, well, I said an apology, but my fingers were crossed. Like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Then don't say it. Stop being inauthentic. Stop being fake.
That shouldn't be hard to figure out because she hasn't apologized very fucking often. That's for sure.
oh my gosh, the amount of apologies that I've given out to people who have never ever apologized in return when they should have, because I only went at them because they went at me first.
Yeah.
I went too far with David.
Another person, the girl from TikTok, I apologized to her. She was on a panel in Isaac's Live. She never goes live, really. But she was up on a panel. I was on the panel. And I said, I'm sorry for guessing what your name was. I'm sorry for putting any of that information out. I'm not going to do it again. I've not done it again. And she is the only person that has that video of me from 2023 guessing her name. She's the only person who has that posted anywhere. She has one folder on her profile. It's called the Lisa Files, and it's just videos of her trashing me. But she wants to play victim all the fucking time. I don't even fucking bother with her, and she made a video of me like 3 days ago.
Thanks,
I don't
Chris. That
bother.
was Nikki. She apologized with the crossed fingers. Is that who you mean?
But it wasn't that hard either because, I mean, Samantha has been on her balcony showing the views. Like, as I was Google mapping it back to that building, I saw the church that she's shown from her balcony. And I saw that big yellow building. I don't know what the building was, but I saw the yellow building with the parking lot. That's right across the street from her building and her balcony. Like, it was all fucking noticeable. Like, it wasn't that hard to find whatsoever.
Yeah.
And if you know just posting it's going to trigger her and make her like do whatever.
Well, that was the point of
Yeah,
the
that's
beef
the point.
baron. The point of posting the beef baron was, yeah, it'll trigger her for sure. But yeah, she comes in and doxes her own building, and
Then
then
you had the cartoon version of the Beef Baron as well, which I thought was hilarious. But she wants to bitch about the fucking AI stories that we were doing, yet she wasn't really a part of it unless she was on the outside listening. And it went on for 2-3 days, so it's like she would have had to been watching.
The thing
But
is that her and Crystal were like, in Isaac's Live, were like, nobody wants to hear your AI stories. I'm like, okay, well, there are people that do, clearly, because look at the likes on the profile or on the recaps. But